In this tutorial and the ones to follow, we're going to be looking at creating the wheel assembly. This is the first time the CAD class will be creating an assembly. In order to create the assembly, we have to create the individual parts. An assembly is actually taking the individual parts and combining them into one working assembly. From the handout, students were given the multi-view drawing in order to create these parts. We have 5 separate parts. We have a top plate, we have 2 axle supports, one on both sides. We have an axle that goes down the middle that supports the wheel. In order to make the assembly, we do not have to actually make 5 separate parts. We only have to make 4. By making the wheel assembly, since these are symmetrical on both sides, you only have to make one wheel assembly. We can essentially pull this from a parts bin or from your files. You don't have to make that again. Some other things that are important here are, not only does one part have to be correct, but it has to be correct so the other parts align with it. These holes that we run a bolt through to attach this to a cabinet or whatever the case may be, these holes need to line up. This cutout here on the top plate underneath where the axle support attaches, these have to be the same width. The diameter for the axle, the hole in the axle support, and the diameter in the wheel all have to match or be consistent with one another so they don't have an interference problem later. In the next tutorial, we're going to take a look at creating this wheel or this axle support.